to The Married Therapist,
a relationship podcast
hosted by us, Luis and Amber Simide.
This podcast is all about love, conflict, and the gray areas.
If you like what you hear, be sure to like and subscribe wherever you're listening. Now let's get to the show.
Welcome to season 2 of our podcast. We are so excited to resume and jump into all the topics. So thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, it's been a minute and lots has changed in the last several months. So we're just going to use this episode to catch everyone up on what's happened in the last several months and just kind of see where things are going to go going forward. So starting off, so right after we wrapped up season 1 of our podcast, Amber had a really cool opportunity that I would love for her to share. What happened?
Yeah, so I was able to film a special project that's coming out pretty soon. I can't say much, and I know sometimes when people say that, it's so annoying, but I did sign an NDA, so per legal, I want to make sure that everything's on the up and up, but it was a really cool experience where I was able to lend my expertise as a therapist. And as soon as it's ready, I'll let you guys know. It will be available to watch, and it's so exciting. It's right up my alley, and it was just really cool being in a professional setting with lights and cameras. And a little thing I loved is that, you know, when you see behind the scenes documentaries or just footage with movies, and the producer has that, I don't even know what it's called, but
a little clicker situation. Yeah.
The click thing. They did that, and I asked if I could do it myself, and my producer's like, of course. And I was like, I know I'm not the only one, right, that loves to do that. He's like, every single person loves that and asks to touch it and to do it themselves. He's like, it's not like things that we would think would be fascinating, but that little piece of plastic. And Luis was there with me, which was amazing. Yeah. Just knowing that he was in the corner, he was taking pictures, talking to the producers too. So I cannot wait to tell you guys all about it.
Yeah, and I know that's been like a dream of yours, right? Like for a long time, just to be in one of these types of projects. And so to see that really come to fruition was cool. And hopefully it opens the door for new opportunities going forward.
I hope so. Yeah. Like, book me.
Anyway, so that was in September, and that was really cool. So right after that project, we celebrated our 2-year anniversary. We got to go to New York City to do that, which was incredible. If you've never been to New York City, we highly recommend it. I've been when I was younger, but it was the Bronx, just visiting family, so I never really explored like Manhattan and all of that stuff. So that was really cool to do that. And
it was my first time going. Yeah. So I was over the moon.
Yeah. And we've been on many trips throughout our relationship, but New York definitely tops all of them. It was incredible. We got to just eat and drink and explore. We got to walk around the different neighborhoods, which was really cool. Like there's just so much life in New York City. Like even just walking the streets, like you just feel the buzz around you, which is just a cool. It's hard to explain if you've never been there, but yeah. And we saw The Lion King, which was incredible on Broadway. It really blew my mind. Because I know both of us grew up on Lion King, and so seeing it live was out of control. Like it was so good. Like for you, what was your favorite part about the entire trip?
One of my highlights was going to Central Park. It was so beautiful. I've seen a lot of movies about it and thought I had a level of understanding about what the experience would be, but it paled in comparison to what it actually was. We went there twice. One of the times we went there, it was on a weekend. There was a lot of people. Everybody was just having their little picnic.
Yeah, it was great.
And we were laying down, and there were dogs and kids and couples and families. People were riding their bikes and running. It was really beautiful. And then the second time, which was my favorite, is when we rented a little rowboat on the lake. Yeah. It was so beautiful. It reminded me of The Notebook.
Yeah, definitely giving Notebook vibes.
Infamous scene that was really romantic. And we actually saw a bride and groom do their photo shoot there. They just got married, and their photographer was on land fighting for his life, making sure he got all the shots. And the two of them looked like models, just... Yeah. You could tell they were living it up. So that was absolutely beautiful. The weather was perfect. Wasn't too hot, wasn't too cold. And I really enjoyed having that little cutesy moment with you on the water.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was cool just to like see what we've seen in so many movies just like in person. And every time we were walking through Central Park, I was thinking of Home Alone with that pigeon lady. Like just, just imagining her there with all the pigeons around her, and she was like low key creepy, but ended up being a good person. So it was the whole thing. But
I know. We were trying
um
to find that specific
yeah.
location.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, it was an incredible trip. We actually stayed in Jersey City, right across the river, which is kind of a hack because things are just a lot cheaper in Jersey, and it's a really short train ride to the city. So that was a nice way to save money and just kind of be out of the city a little bit. But
And I loved all the food
oh my
that we
gosh,
had. We did all the classics. So New York hot dog, New York pizza, New York cheesecake, New York pretzel. I kept talking about how we need to get this and we need to get that, even if we already ate or whatnot. I was just like, no, I can't come to New York City and not try
yeah.
these famous food items. Oh, and a bagel.
Oh, the bagel was incredible.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. And we took that bagel to go and ate it at Central Park before we did the rowboat.
Hmm.
That was really cool.
Yeah, I would say one of my favorite parts about the trip was not just the Lion King, but we did a photo shoot in the middle of Central Park. So there's this company called Shoot, SHOOTT, and we're not sponsored by them or anything, but we really love using them. We use them for our engagement shoots and we love those. They contract local photographers and they give you a free 30-minute photo shoot, and you can just pay for the photos that you like. Ended up always liking all of our pictures, so we ended up just getting the whole gallery. So we ended up hiring a shoot photographer for Times Square, and they had a time slot at night, so which was perfect with all the lights and all the people, and it felt like we were in a movie because we had this photographer following us, and we're like fighting traffic, and like whenever cars weren't coming, we'd jump in the street, and the cars coming, they're like honking at us. We're trying to get out of the way, but anyway, it was cool. Our pictures came out incredibly, and so that was just a cool moment to be able to experience with you.
Another highlight was that we were at a rooftop bar on the 54th floor in
Yes.
Times Square. So iconic, just impeccable views. We saw the whole skyline and it just felt grown and sexy and super romantic.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the place, but if you just Google Times Square 54th, I think it was called 54th.
I think it's called like, yeah, Bar 54 or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You're able to make reservations and again, impeccable views.
Yeah. We are all about reservations. We will not wait for anything. And so if you can't make a reservation there, we're probably not going to go. So
That's
because it's just nice to be able to walk up to the restaurant, say you have a reservation, and then just go sit down instead of waiting for 30 minutes or an hour. Cause I'm like, that's just waste of time. So
yeah, and we made all of our reservations, whether it was for a bar or brunch or dinner, about 2 weeks.
mhm,
I want to say 2 to 3 weeks before. So it wasn't like we had to do it months in advance.
yeah.
So it can be done.
A lot of them don't even let you do reservations more than 2 weeks before.
Actually, yeah,
So yeah,
that's true.
so we did that, and it was nice to be able to know that we had reservations going into it, so we didn't have to do all the planning while we were there, like Googling things, looking at reviews and all that. We just did that ahead of time, so we went there and just enjoyed our time, which was cool. So after New York, we had my birthday in the middle of October, and Amber planned an incredible date for me where she took me to this incredible like brunch place here in town with coffee, and then we went to do a pottery wheel, which something that I've always wanted to do, but I've never done it before. I didn't even know that there were places to do that. I mean, I assume there would be, but I've never looked into it. But it was cool. It was a cool, like, unique, romantic date where we did the pottery wheel. We made a couple of things, and we got to take them home. We didn't take them home that day. They had to put them in the oven and all that stuff. We picked it up a few weeks later. And then after that, we went and had dinner at one of my favorite spots in San Antonio called Hot Joy. If you've never been, it's great. Yeah, just got to enjoy that in that evening. And then we ended the night at a rooftop bar. I mean, a rooftop bar hates to see us coming because we will be there. So yeah, One Watson here in San Antonio. And yeah, it was such a cool night. You did a great job
Thank
planning
you.
that night. We both really like surprises, and so we both like to plan things for each other. So
Yeah, so he had no idea what I was doing the whole day.
yeah, so we had a great time there. So after that, we had a pretty big, like, unexpected life event happen. You want to talk a little bit about that situation?
Yeah, so my dad, who has dementia, came to live with us.
Hmm.
We became his full-time caretakers, and our whole life changed. Like you said, it was unexpected. So we had a few days literally to get mentally prepared and also just prepare our house. And then he came. So
Yeah.
that was really difficult because we've never done that before. And
Mhm.
there's just a lot of moving parts. I'm so grateful for you. I
Mhm.
thanked you during that time and will forever and always thank you because we talk about love and what that means. Well, sometimes it looks like being a caretaker for an aging parent,
Mhm.
and you really just stepped up to the plate. You were so incredibly patient and compassionate and generous and sweet and everything that is positive, that's what you were, and I really, really needed that,
Yeah.
and I'm just forever grateful. You know, we talk about the vows, like, through sickness and health
Yeah.
and good and bad, and as like, we love to travel, and we love to do all these fun things, and, again, sometimes life throws you curveballs like this. It's not always sunshine and rainbows, and I'm just so grateful that,
Mhm.
you didn't fall apart, I didn't fall apart. It was a very difficult situation, but we were able to work through it together.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But yeah, that was 2 months of that. My dad has moved out and he now is back home and he's safe. So we're happy that it ended well.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that was a really, really difficult season. We're both in therapy and I know we were talking to our therapist about
Yeah,
it
really.
and talking to friends. Really, I know for me it's like anyone who would listen,
Yeah.
I would tell them the whole story just because there was so much kind of pent up. I needed
Mhm.
to let it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, it really was a lot. And I know you said like we didn't fall apart, and really the only reason we didn't fall apart was because we had each other, and both of us were putting in effort into the whole situation. I was taking him to the senior center and doing all of his morning meds and things like that, and just kind of taking care of him on the back end of things. But you really spearheaded all of his appointments and everything that was going on during the day because you work from home, obviously. And so when he wasn't at the senior center, he was here. And so I just felt really bad for you because I know typically in your breaks between your sessions, you were able to just kind of decompress and get some laundry done or run errands or just rest. And that was kind of taken out of your schedule for that time that we had him. And I know that was really, really difficult for you. And so I'm so thankful that you did all of that because with my ADHD, like doing appointments and all that would not have gone well. Like I don't know that I would have been able to keep track of all the appointments that need to happen and know when they're going to happen and go to those appointments and things like that. So you did a great job of taking care of him with what we had and what we knew. And I'm really thankful for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. And one of the things that I did, because, we're working all day and we both have pretty heavy jobs as far as being a therapist and working with our clients, going from being a full-time therapist and then coming home and being a caretaker was just a lot. So I would kind of give myself that buffer time between work and home of like an hour or so just to like go to a coffee shop or go to the grocery store, just kind of walk around, just decompress and just to kind of reset my mind and kind of prepare for what I was walking into. And then, yeah, when I came home, I gave you that opportunity to do that too. And you were able to go to the room and just kind of be on your own, not being bothered or anything like that. And so I'm glad that we were able to kind of just work together to, make it work.
Yeah, me too. And something I love that we started implementing was a weekly date night
Yeah.
on Wednesdays.
Hmm.
We got out of the house and did something for ourselves.
Yeah.
Little car date, dinner, we played some games,
Yeah.
recorded some content, and that was really needed.
Hmm.
I remember feeling depleted beforehand, but then feeling rejuvenized afterwards.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad that we decided to do that.
Yeah. Because, when he wasn't here, I mean, every day we just spend time together, and so we get that quality time on a daily basis, which we get now, which is incredible. But yeah, when he was here, all of our free time essentially was like taking care of him, making sure that he was good, or we weren't able to fully like relax because we weren't sure if he was going to need something, and so we really weren't able to fully rest until we went to bed. And so yeah, that weekly date night was really instrumental in something to look forward to, but then also something to just like take our mind off of everything and decompress. So yeah, I'm thankful that we did that
Yeah.
too.
And I'm glad that we were able to provide care for him during that
Yeah, for
season.
sure.
It's difficult and very complex and nuanced. And so for some people, it's the easiest thing in the world. And for some people, they would never do it. So I'm
Hmm.
glad that we were able to do what we could during that time. And again, he was able to kind of transition back home, which is what he wanted. So all is good now. But yeah, I'll always remember just how you came through
Hmm.
and supported me during that time.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I can't imagine doing anything else. So you're welcome. So towards the end of his stay here, we went to Kansas City for Thanksgiving to your sister's house. And that was cool. It was just like a nice reprieve. Even though we were still with him, it was just kind of a nice break from everyday life and just spending time with your sisters and enjoying the cold weather because Lord knows it does not get cold in San Antonio, especially in Thanksgiving. So it's cool just to like spend time with them, do things and explore a different city, experience the weather and all of that. So that was a fun experience. So what was that for you? Because I know you're really close with your sisters and it was a really difficult season. And so being with them for those few days, what was that like for you?
It was awesome. I loved it so much. So I'm one of four girls. I'm a twin, and then I have a sister who's about 6 years younger, and then a sister who's about 15 months older. So the four of us are pretty close in age and have always enjoyed each other's company.
Mm,
We kind of have the same humor. We like to karaoke, to tell jokes, and there's just never been any bad blood or anything like
yeah.
that between all of us. So it just felt like coming home,
Yeah.
being around my people and everyone's partners and just watching TV and the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and eating together and
Hmm.
you all cooking. I provided dish support. Um, and we're all kind of in similar life stages. So it was just exactly what I needed, that beautiful respite to just not be on
Hmm.
and be able to rejuvenate so I can go back home and start to do all my normal responsibilities.
Yeah, for sure. So we left Kansas City, and then a few weeks later is when your dad left. And like I said, even that situation was kind of unexpected. It was kind of a quick transition to back home, and but we navigated it and we did it. And then we had Christmas that came after that, which we both love Christmas. I know it's a really big deal in your house, always has been. And for us, we celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve. And so it works out because my mom lives an hour and a half away in Austin. And so we were able to go to Austin for Christmas Eve and spend it with them. And then the next day come back to San Antonio to spend it with your mom and your sisters. And yeah, it's just always such a fun, magical time in like I love San Antonio during the Christmas time because of all the lights and the Riverwalk and as much as people hate on the Riverwalk, I think it's beautiful, especially during the holidays with the lights and all of that stuff. It gets crowded for sure, but I just enjoyed that season for us.
Yeah, I did too. People be sleeping on San
They
Antonio,
really do.
but there are a lot of
Yeah,
gems.
yeah.
And I just commented that on someone's post. I said, if you just look up, you'll see all the goodness that San Antonio has to offer.
Hmm.
And Google is free. So there's a ton of social media content that will let you know all the fun things that are happening.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take a lot of effort.
It really doesn't. Yeah, and there's something that I tell the kids that I work with all the time. Like you see the things that you are looking for, and you often miss the things that you're not looking for. Right? There's this YouTube video that's really popular back in the day where it kind of illustrates this point where there are like I don't know 5 guys dressed in black, 5 guys dressed in white, and they're passing a basketball around. And at the beginning of the video, it's like can you count how many times the people in white passed the ball to each other? And so you watch them, you count, and then like, did you get 6 or whatever it is? And it's like, yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy. But then it says, but did you see the moonwalking gorilla in the middle of the video? It's like, what? There was not a moonwalking gorilla. I did not see that at all. But when they rewind it, you legitimately see this guy in a gorilla costume moonwalking across the screen, and it proves the point that again, you miss the things you're not looking for, and you will often see the things you are looking for. And just like in San Antonio, like if you are looking for reasons to hate it, you're gonna find them. They're here. But if you're looking for things to do and fun things to do, you'll find those too. And so that's just a life lesson, but also just a lesson here in San Antonio too. You
Yeah.
find the things you're looking for.
And radical acceptance that we are not Dallas.
We are not
We are not
Miami.
we're not Dallas, we're not Houston, we're not Austin. We're San Antonio, and San Antonio is amazing.
Yes. So nice little plug for San Antonio.
I know. Like, we're San Antonio ambassadors.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so after Christmas, we had New Year's, and my mom goes all out on New Year's. We guys go to my mom's house where she has this huge Puerto Rican party where she cooks so many incredible things. She does all the cooking for like 30, 40 people, which I don't know how she does it because cooking is a lot, especially for that many people. Yeah, she clears out her living room and she has a huge dance floor. My cousin DJs professionally, so she hires him and we just listen to music and dance and eat and drink literally till like 2 or 3 in the morning, and it's such a vibe.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful that she has that party.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I'm just grateful that you guys are such a beautiful, loving, warm, and welcoming family.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have that in my previous marriage.
Yeah.
So from day one, I just have been floored. Like, oh my gosh, you guys are so fun. Yes.
Yeah, it is. I'm really blessed to be in that kind of environment, and that the fact that has been normal in my life is cool. Again, it's easy to miss the things that you're not looking for, right? It can be easy to be like numb to those things, but especially to see it from someone else's perspective coming in, it's cool to see like, no, this is really awesome. I'm glad that we do this.
Yeah, I love your mom so much. I'm
Yeah.
such a fan. She's the sweetest,
Yeah.
and forever grateful to have her in my life.
Yeah. Now, in New Year's this year was especially important for us just because 2025 was a pretty difficult year. We've shared in a previous episode about our fertility journey and how difficult that has been. And then we had your dad and all of that. So it was nice knowing that we are walking into 2026 with a clean slate, and we have lots of good things planned. And we've already done a few things. So do you want to talk a little bit about some things that we've done so far?
So my twin sister got married a couple weeks ago.
Mhm.
And so at the beginning of January, we had her bachelorette party here in town, which was so fun. My older sister from Kansas City flew into town. We rented out an Airbnb and just had a time. We played games, karaoke. We went downtown, kind of bar hopping. She had the sash on. So everybody was like, oh my God, congratulations. And we went to an escape room. Then the next day we went to a rooftop bar, which was so fun. So I absolutely loved just celebrating my twin sister. She's amazing and beautiful. And I was her matron of honor. She was my matron of honor 2 years ago. So it was really cool to be able to pay all of that forward.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 weeks after the bachelorette was her wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So that was such a beautiful day.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. The weather was crazy the day after, but we got so lucky because her wedding was on a Friday and it was perfect. It actually was hot. And then that evening is when it started to change. And then that Saturday morning is when the ice came, and we actually were in Canyon Lake. So we got snow, but the wedding was perfect. She was so calm and chill, and it went really well. She had a coordinator, which huge recommendation for that.
Seriously.
There's a lot of moving parts, way more than I think anyone would ever expect. What was cool too is that it was kind of like half wedding, but then also half family reunion.
Yeah.
Because we all came from all over the nation, and they were so generous to put us all in cabins that were nearby. And so because of the weather, we all had to stay in, but it wasn't bad. It was actually perfect because we were able to do more karaoke, play a lot of games, and just be all cozy, chatting, and spend a lot of quality time with one another.
Yeah.
So that was really, really cool. And I know for a couple people, it was kind of hard to leave because it was so great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I love your family too. They're so fun. Ever since I met your family, I just felt like I just fit in very well because everyone's so chill. They're lighthearted. They're funny. They love doing a lot of things that I love doing. So I love being around your family and just kind of seeing them and seeing you in your element. And like you said, it was kind of a family reunion. And some of the people I've only met maybe once or twice, like at our wedding. And some people I met for the first time. So it was cool to kind of have that experience along with the wedding. And yeah, going back to the wedding, it was such a like a full circle moment because I know they had just started dating when we had our wedding. And so to then see them now getting married, it was such a cool moment. And I know for you, like you said, you were the matron of honor, and historically, right, like the matron of honor or the maid of honor does a lot, and they're typically, like, pretty stressed out, but you didn't really seem stressed out, so, like, what was that experience like for you? Like, just being the maid of honor matron of honor during that season?
Yeah, it was great. So I did the bridal shower and the bachelorette, and then day of, I had some responsibilities, but it wasn't bad at all. The thing that made it tough was the fact that I was unwell.
Yeah,
So I had the flu a week before,
yeah.
which absolutely sucked. And then the thing that lingered was this persistent cough.
Mhm.
So I actually went to urgent care the Monday before the wedding, thanks to you,
Yeah.
and got prescribed some medication that was helpful. But it just was a lot because I would have coughing attacks.
Mhm.
And so the medication was great, but it caused me to be drowsy. So fast forward to the wedding day, I'm having to run around to do certain tasks. Again, not a lot, but it just made it a little more difficult because I wasn't at my full self.
Mm.
But I'm so grateful that I did not cough at the altar, nor did I cough during my speech, which I
Yeah.
was thrilled about. I actually had a coughing attack though 10 minutes before my speech. I had to remove myself from the reception, go to the area where we were getting ready to take my medication to calm myself down, drink some water. The videographer and the photographer and that team, what they were eating because they were taking their break. And I was just like, don't mind me. I'm hacking up a lung over here. But everything worked out. And again, I was able to successfully give the speech. And I told my sister afterwards that that happened. And she was like, oh my gosh, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
no, I don't think I even knew that. It didn't seem like you were, like, just recently, like, hacking up a lung, like, you did your speech, and your speech was incredible, you did it really well, you're a great storyteller, and so,
Thank you.
yeah. Yeah, I would've never known. That's cool.
Thank you. That was the hope.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad.
Yeah. I feel like it's very much who you are. Like you are someone who you don't show the difficulties that you're going through. Like you just carry it really well and you just move on with your life and you just kind of go as needed, and I know that's something that your sister and your mom have talked about, regarding grad school. They're like, were you even in grad school? We never saw you stressing out. We never saw you like studying or writing papers, but obviously you did because you graduated. But yeah, you don't carry stress on your face or in your body. Like you just handle it, which you need to do, but you do it really well. And I admire that about you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let the record reflect, I do be crashing out. But I do have a therapist, which is really
Yeah.
helpful, and I have you and other friends who are able to provide me with that support. It really just depends on what it is. As
Yeah.
you were talking, I was just like, no, I remember a couple moments that were hard. So there's that, but I do appreciate that.
Yeah. So after the wedding, then we had your birthday, which was
Ah,
such a cool thing for me to plan. So back in December, I told Amber, I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna take you on a trip for your birthday. So that Friday, don't schedule any clients. We're gonna go somewhere, but I'm not gonna tell you where we're gonna go." And she loves surprises. So she was all about it. She's like, "Okay, bet." For me, like it's always so like it's hard to hold secrets for that long. Even when we were getting engaged and I had your ring already, I was like showing some of your friends and I think I showed my brother and I showed, people your ring. And it was kind of the same with this, like with where we were going to go. I told my brother and I told, um, my brother-in-law, like I just told a couple different people. And yeah, so it was cool. So fast forward to the week after the wedding, we go on the trip. And do you want to share your experience with this whole thing?
yes. So I cannot stress how much I love surprises. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but for me, surprise me all day, every day. So Luis said, yeah, I'm going to take you on a surprise trip for your birthday. And these are the dates. I said, okay. He just told me what the weather was. I was like, say less, I'm there. And so we head to the airport. This all happened last weekend. And he was able to send me the QR code because I know people are like, how did you get through security? He just sent me the QR code. He cropped out the destination. So all I had to do was just scan the QR code and that was it. Went through TSA and we got some food. Then he said, okay, this is the gate. Cool. So when we got closer to the gate, I put my head down.
It's like
I,
she was on punishment.
yeah.
Just like walking with your head down.
And then we got to the gate and he positioned me in a certain area. And then he's like, okay, 3, 2, 1, look up and see where we're going. Looked up, Denver. I was like, I was freaking out. So Denver was one of my guesses. I never wanted to tell him. He winded up recording me like the night before asking, but I wanted to keep my guesses a secret. But it was Denver or Atlanta. And so I just was like, oh my gosh, I guessed right. That's crazy. And was just over the moon. So on the plane, I made up a song. I was like, Denver, Denver. I was just thinking of all the fun things we would do in Denver.
Yeah.
And how incredible it would be. So we get off the plane in Denver, and then he looks at me and said, plot twist, Denver is our layover, and our plane boards in 7 minutes. I was so excited. My head popped off. I was just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So exciting. Luckily, we didn't have to run or anything. We were able to go to the bathroom. And then same thing, walked over to the next gate and put my head down. He positioned me in a certain area, was filming me. I look up and saw that we were going to Vegas. I feel like Oprah. You get a car, you get a car.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was beyond floored. I still am. This was last weekend. And yeah, I was so incredibly excited and was just like, whoa, okay, Denver, yes, sounds amazing. But Vegas, it's grown and sexy. So cool. And what's cool, I've been to Vegas 2 years ago with my twin sister, but Luis has never been there. So I was so excited to see Vegas through your eyes.
Yeah.
And fast forward, we go to Vegas. I had no idea what we were doing the entire time. Everything was a surprise. Again, for some people, that sounds horrible. For me, that sounds amazing because Luis is such an incredible tour guide. He has excellent taste. He knows me. And this guy read reviews. He was looking on social media. He was doing all this investigative research to make sure that it was the best trip ever.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was so much fun to plan. And I was just imagining you finding out where we're going and where we were going on each step of the way. Because yeah, you didn't know anything the whole time we were even there. I had my agenda in my notes app and I was like, all right, we have a brunch reservation at 10:30, and that's all you knew. And so you didn't know until we got to the restaurant, like where we were eating. And it was cool to see your eyes light up every single time. And I do that because like I love you, obviously, but then I just know how hard you work on a daily basis. And, you know, especially this last year has been really difficult for both of us. And I know the toll that it took on you. And so I just really wanted to give you a birthday that you deserved and that you needed to just feel celebrated and to feel loved because, you know, you are really loved and worth celebrating.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're
I really
welcome.
appreciate that. Yeah, I kept
sure.
saying like, this is making me feel so special. And you were
Yeah.
like, you are special. I was like, my heart just melted
Yeah.
like 10 million times on that trip.
Yeah, for sure. And I loved seeing it. You know, I loved seeing, again, loved seeing your eyes light up. I loved seeing you just like shocked and surprised every single time. And with every Uber ride we took, we were telling the Uber driver about the whole experience. And they were just like, oh my gosh, that's incredible. And so I know you loved just like sharing that story with literally everyone that you could. Like the person that we were checking into the hotel and you were telling the guy checking us in the whole story. And he's like, wow, that's cool. I think you were just like, all right, let's go to the next person, you know, but.
No, he actually was into it.
He actually was into it, yeah. But I can imagine maybe the people behind us were just like, all right, I need to check in. It's like, hey, shut up. We're telling a cool story.
It's like 1 a.m.
No. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. So, you know, I know we did a lot. So what were some of your highlights for that trip?
Couple things. I loved going to the Michael Jackson 1 Cirque du Soleil show.
Gosh, so cool.
My head popped off the entire trip. Certainly doing this. It was phenomenal. I am such a huge Michael Jackson fan. I grew up on his music. So to hear his discography was just amazing. People were climbing on the walls, coming down from the rafters, flipping all kind of way. world-class performers.
Yeah.
It was just amazing. And I was telling Louise, Michael Jackson has no business being dead. R.I.P. He was truly such an incredible performer. So that was one of the highlights for me. Another was going to this really cool Italian restaurant called Capo's.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a blend of a speakeasy / piano bar. And walking in, seeing the live singer there was cool. It was giving The Mask vibes.
Oh yeah.
Remember
For sure.
Cameron Diaz?
Yeah.
And yeah, great voice. And what was really cool is that the bartender and the waitress, first of all, they were like models, but they had these really cool like New York accents. And I was just wondering, I'm like, wait, is that real or not? I don't even want to know, honestly. But it was just like really fun. And I don't want to like butcher it, but it kind of was like, hi, my name's Roxy. Like, happy birthday. You know, like, how you doing, doll? And I was just like, oh my gosh. And then the men there, they kind of had this whole like, I'm gonna make fun of you kind of thing. It was all light and fun.
Yeah. Kind of like a mobster kind of situation, but also just like very like tough guy. But yeah, like getting onto you or saying, you know, rude things to you, but it was all, yeah, like I said, lighthearted, and it was cool.
Yeah. So it just made me think that this is what life was like back in Prohibition era. And the mob was just running from the FBI. And then they had their like secret sauce. They gave us like a little history on the restaurant. And the food was phenomenal.
So good.
And we got a heads up about the food from the Uber driver who just absolutely was their number one fan. He was like, oh my God, the cheesy bread. It's like, sir, after your Uber shift, you need to go and get something to eat because it sounds like you really need it.
Yeah.
But we got that, and we got bomb drinks, and then this incredible lasagna. That was just fun. I want that right now.
No, it was so good. But yeah, with the Uber driver, it was so annoying because everything is a surprise for you, and he's just going on and on. It's like, oh, this restaurant you're going to is so cool. Do you guys know what they do when you first get there? We're like, no, she wants to be a surprise. Okay, but I'm just gonna tell you one thing. It's like a mob theme, and we're just like, bro, shut up.
I was so annoyed. I'm like, that's like a major piece of information about this restaurant, that it was mob themed. So I don't love that you told me that.
Yeah. But anyway, he was very excited. Yeah. And I was just like, okay, please just drop us off, please. Thank you.
Yeah. So I was annoyed, but just for a second.
Yeah.
So those were a couple of my highlights, but what about you?
I would say for me, I mean, yes, I would say the Michael Jackson one was hands down one of the highlights for sure, for all the reasons that you mentioned already. But I would say another highlight was a Fremont Street. It's not on the Strip, but it's a little bit north of the Strip. And it's incredible. Like, it's just the whole street that's closed off, and it's just walking and dancing and music and lights and street performers. And it's just a cool area.
Shops and bars.
Yeah.
Casinos.
We got to take pictures with some showgirls, like traditional Vegas showgirls, which was really cool. And then another highlight, which was on Fremont Street, there's a karaoke bar called Cat's Meow. And I've been to the one in New Orleans, but I didn't realize it was a chain. So I saw it here. And so we're like, we both love karaoke. So we're like, we're going to go. And so I know neither one of us typically likes, mainly you like, don't like the public karaoke. You like the private rooms. But, you know, we're in Vegas, we don't know these people. It's fine. So we signed up, like a 2-hour wait, but totally worth it. Just watching people perform. Some of them drunk, some not drunk. Some of them great. A lot of them not great, but
it was just vibes.
It was a cool vibe
because it kind of was like a little club.
Yeah, it was a club. Yeah, it was cool. Like, people were just dancing and all the stuff. They would play songs in between each person singing, where people were just able to dance and all this stuff. And so, you know, Amber got to go up because it was her birthday, and she sang a couple songs with like a group of people, which was interesting.
I sang Como la Flor by Selena, and then I did No Scrubs by TLC.
Yeah. And then both of us signed up for a song. I did Usher, You Got It Bad.
Luis killed it. He had fans all over. I was listening to people be like, oh my God, yes, this is my song. Or, dang, Luis. Girls mainly, they were like, Like, yeah, they were so into it. Even the host of the night, she was so cute. And she was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, like, damn. Because again, a lot of people, I'd say 98% of people didn't actually sing well.
No.
It was fun, but it was a different experience when a vocalist got on stage. Luis being one of them. So I was a proud wifey. I was just standing there, just
Like a
filming.
stage mom.
Yeah.
It was funny. Yes, that was so fun. And then Amber did This Is How We Do It, Montel Jordan. Just like, I know it's a classic for her. She grew up on that song. She does
Yeah.
it karaoke all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was cool. The crowd loved it. I mean, it was all people around our age, so we all grew up on that song. And so as soon as it came on, people were on the floor just like dancing, singing along with you. And so that was a cool vibe. But yeah, I would say the karaoke and Fremont Street were two of my main highlights for me. So do you want to share a little bit about what we have coming forward for the podcast?
So you guys can look forward to more Reddit dilemmas.
Yes.
Where we answer those to the best of our ability. Again, we are licensed therapists, but we are not your therapist. So if you happen to catch this and this is your Reddit dilemma, just know that. We really want you guys to write in. So please be sure to do that at semidaysquad@gmail.com. That's SEMIDEY squad@gmail. And we'll be more than happy to address that. Life be lifing.
Yeah.
Things are complex. And I know I listen to some of these online and I always think it's cool to just get people's point of view. And the plan is to have some guests on the podcast as well as us be guests on other people's podcasts. We'll keep talking about some things that are important for relationships, like communication and trust and things like that. Let us know though if there's a specific topic that you want us to address, because we'll be more than happy to tackle that.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you guys for joining us as we are starting season 2, and we are excited to continue on with the rest of these episodes.
Be sure to like, follow, subscribe, comment. It will really help our little show grow and get to the masses. So please be sure to do that, and we'll see you guys later.
See ya.